book is Pete the Kitty, Wash Your Hands by Kimberly and James Dean. Wash your hands, says Mom. Okay, says Pete the Kitty. I'm done. Pete's hands are not clean. I'll help you, says Bob. Watch me. Turn on the water, Bob says. Then wet your hands. Splish! Scrub your hands with soap. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Rinse your hands with water. Splash! Then dry your hands. Rub, rub, rub. Now you try it, Bob says. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Ta-da, says Pete. Great job, says Bob. We must wash our hands many times a day, says Bob. When? Asked Pete. Wash your hands after you play. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands when you throw trash away. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands before you eat. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands after a treat. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands when someone is sick. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands if you have to pick. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands if you sneeze, cough, or blow. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. And please wash your hands after you go. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. I've got it, says Pete. Thank you, Bob. Have fun, Bob says. Ta-da! Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Did you wash your hands? Mom asked. Yes, says Pete. Keeping clean is good. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Pete got all muddy. Pete the Kitty, Ready, Set, Go-Kart by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete loves go-karts. Go-karts go fast. Super fast go-kart racer. Pete wants to make a go-kart. He would make the fastest one. Pete looks for a box. He finds an old wooden box. This is perfect, he says. Pete sits in the box. Zoom, says Pete, but he can't see the road. Something's missing. You need a seat, says Bob. Pete and Bob look for a seat. Bob finds an old chair. The chair is perfect. They put the seat in the go-kart. Pete sits in the go-kart. Zoom, says Pete. But the go-kart doesn't go. Something's missing. You need wheels, says Callie. Pete, Bob, and Callie look for wheels. Callie finds an old wagon. The wheels are perfect. They put the wheels on the go-kart. The go-kart rolls a little. Zoom, Pete says. But Pete's go-kart is slow. Something's missing. You will go fast if you go down a hill, says Callie. Pete and his pals look for a hill. Callie finds a tall hill. Bob finds a taller hill. Pete finds the tallest hill. Pete and his pals push the go-kart up the hill. Ready, set, wait, says Pete. Something's missing, says Pete. What? Asks Rob. The go-kart has a box. The go-kart has a seat. The go-kart has wheels. My go-kart needs cool colors, says Pete. He paints cool lines on the go-kart. Now Pete is ready to go fast. Ready, set, go! The go-kart starts to roll. It rolls down the big hill. Pete's go-kart goes fast. His go-kart goes faster. Zoom, says Pete. His go-kart is the fastest. Pete's pals cheer. You did it, Pete! No, says Pete. We did it. Pete loves his new go-kart, but he loves his pals most of all. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of this story is where Pete paints really cool lines on his go-kart, then zips down the hill. Pete the kitty goes to the doctor. Pete the kitty wakes up. It's time to go to school. Pete stretches his arms, he stretches his legs. Ouch! Pete's belly hurts. Pete calls his dad. My belly does not feel groovy, he said. Pete's dad feels his head. You do not have a fever. Dad says, you just need some rest. Dad tucked Pete back into his bed. Dad kisses Pete's head. Pete pulls up his covers. He thinks he will have a cool day at home. Pete starts to play with his trains. And Pete starts to paint a picture. It is time to get dressed, Dad said. It is time to go to the doctor. Pete does not want to go to the doctor. Pete is scared of the doctor. Dad said, the doctor is cool. She's not scary. Dad takes Pete to the doctor's office. They wait their turn. The waiting room's fun. Pete gets to play with lots of far-out toys. The nurse comes for Pete. She takes him to another room. The nurse checks for a fever. The doctor comes in. She checks Pete's ears. She checks Pete's eyes. The doctor feels Pete's belly. She listens to Pete's heart. The doctor even lets Pete listen to her heart. Don't worry, the doctor says. It's just a bellyache. The doctor gives Pete a cool sticker. She tells Pete to rest. Dad takes Pete home. Dad lets Pete rest in bed. Pete will feel better soon. Dad was right. The doctor was not scary. She was nice. Pete feels better. Soon he'll be back to his groovy self again. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Pete gets to play with all the toys in the doctor's office.